right, on to the East region. Taylor, go ahead and take it away.
All right, our first matchup here in the East region is the 1 seed Purdue Pete versus the play-in winner FDU Farley Dickinson, hilarious Nitro the Knight, who is a horse, not a knight.
So this is a theme that you're going to hear from me a couple times. I hate plastic heads on mascots. And something else I hate about Purdue Pete, his regular man legs stick out the bottom of his shorts, and that just gives me weirdo vibes.
He gives off weirdo vibes. I think he might be a weirdo.
He spins out that, I think it's like a pickaxe or something really fast, which is impressive. I couldn't do that. And Nitro the Knight, who is a horse, not a knight. There's some discrepancy there, but he's pretty cool. I like the coloring in him. The
so
blue
vibrant.
And the red, it's something different. It's nice. I just don't know. What's your opinion with this?
I think it's a tough horse. I think you look into the eyes of Nitro the horse. I think he's tough. I just think it gets difficult when the person you're going against, one, he's an engineer, so he's smart, and he's got the brains underneath that big plastic shell. And then he's got a weapon, that makes it really tough when you have a weapon. Is as tough as this horse is. I just don't know.
I think Purdue has to go on because he has a weapon. You're right. That's an advantage. Okay. Yeah, Purdue moving on. I like it.
All right. Our next matchup is number 8 Memphis, which is Tom. For any of you following along at home, that's Tiger of Memphis, Tom.
Love it.
Take note, Princeton. That's how you name a tiger. Versus number 9, Florida Atlantis, which would be our first owl mascot, Owlsley. Another great name. Sydney, what are your thoughts on these two fellas?
Poor Tom. He doesn't stand a chance.
Not a chance.
He is cute, and I like the sweatband and his little floppy ears. But Owlsley, look into those bright, shining eyes and tell me he's not tough as heck.
He just told me my future when I looked into those eyes. He's full of power and wisdom, and he's a fighter. And the other guy, when I looked into his eyes, I just saw children laughing and smiling. And I think you referred to him as some sort of snack earlier, and I thought you nailed it with that. Yeah, he looks just like Cheeto.
His ears remind me of those puffy Cheetos.
Yes. So if Owlsley doesn't like when you touch those and get cheese all over you, that might take him down. But otherwise, he's way more powerful. Those red eyebrows are
Yeah, he definitely plucks those too because they're perfect.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Owlsley all the way.
The mall and does those
Gets them threaded.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, that Florida Atlantis is our winner for that matchup. Up next is number 5 seed, the Duke Blue Devil, versus the number 12 seed, Oral Roberts, who has Eli the Golden Eagle.
So, initial thought, the Duke Blue Devil, I think he has one of those plastic heads. So that's a ding just for a personal, no on my part. But I think Eli the Golden Eagle, although he looks tough, and I like that he's a different sort of bird that we haven't seen yet, I think the Blue Devil just beats him up. Because, look at the muscle differentiation between those two.
Yes, it's the muscle, it's the horns, it's the fact that he has one of these things. What are those? The soul patch, that, and then if all those you take into account don't already put him over the top, he's the devil. We also sometimes people forget that he's the devil, and so he's not always the easiest to beat. And the head of Eli the Golden Eagle is just it's a little too 2D for me. It looks like a big thump, so I just don't think. I think he'll be tough. He'll get a couple, beaks in, but good otherwise, couple pecks. I agree.
Yep. Yeah, I think Duke all the way there.
Duke moves on, as they usually do.
Yeah.
All right. Now we have number 4, Tennessee, Smoky the dog. He's just so handsome.
He's
versus
so handsome.
So handsome. Versus number 13, Louisiana Lafayette with the Cayenne. So it's a big cayenne pepper, which is a very unique mascot. You're not going to see any of those in the Big Ten, but it's a fun one.
Yeah, I mean, both of these are different from anything we've seen so far, so I got to give them both props for uniqueness. I'm partial to Smoky, though. He's so handsome, and he's an old boy, you can tell, like a good old boy.
Yep.
And I don't think he would be affected by the spice. He seems like someone that could eat anything spicy, and it won't bother him.
Yep. As long as it's in rations. And it looks like we only have one pepper here, so I think, he might have an upset tummy for a little bit, but I don't think that's stopping him from winning this fight. And, look at him. He's just, a good listener. He just, he's such a good listener. You're like, hey, you stay here, Smoky. Hey, go check that out. He's going to go do all that, and he's going to come back victorious.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Our next matchup, then, is number 6, Kentucky, who has two mascots, kind of. They have that Maine, the Wildcat, which you've probably seen before, and then they have Scratch, which is, I guess, another. He looks like a dog, but they're all Wildcats, and what really is a Wildcat, other than just whatever kind of cat the people want them to be? So just a couple cats versus what must be one of the most terrifying things in the world, which is number 11, Providence, the Friar. Sydney, your thoughts on him?
The Friar eats children.
On him?
I just...
children. He sucks them up in his big black hole mouth.
Yeah, and no color. No
None.
Color.
Black and white.
They
Simple man.
Not even a little blush on the cheeks.
Nope.
The Wildcats have to win this, although the disparity between those two mascots is odd, and I don't know why they did that.
They needed two even. Who knows?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The one guy has a 1 on his jersey. I think we've noticed this in other ones too. He has a 1 on his jersey, and the other guy has a half on his jersey. Meaning, I suppose he's
so insulting.
So offensive.
Yeah,
but there's nothing more offensive than the Friar. So
we can't let the Friar go on because I physically can't talk about him or look at him again in the next round. So Kentucky all the way.
Not to make this religious, but get him out of here.
Yeah. Ugh.
Separation of sport and church. We're moving on. So Kentucky wins that one. And our next matchup is number 3, Kansas State, Willie the Wildcat.
Which is another one that disgusts me.
Can he even be considered a mascot, or is he simply a mascot head?
It's just a man with a head on. Which is, did they run out of money? Is the rest of the costume hanging up somewhere else? Or what went wrong?
Trip. Yeah. Oh, no, it's on my body. Oh,
and I feel like, you know how Sparty, he'll get out there and do a dance, and I've seen Sparty do a backflip or a bunch of push-ups. This guy did that. The head would go flying. So he has to just stand there and wave. He can't do much.
Yes, the only thing he does is wave because he'll tip right over. And not to get too far ahead of ourselves, he is going against number 14, Montana State. Instead of a Wildcat, now we have a Bobcat. So he's tough. You give me your thoughts on him.
He has a body, and that's a million points in his direction. I like him. He has a unique look, and he's not a Wildcat. Like we've seen 16,000 Wildcats already. He's a specific type of cat that we know actually exists. And so he's got some sharp teeth, although Willie the Wildcat from Kansas State has some sharp teeth. But as you kind of alluded to, I think if they went at it, Willie would just topple over because he's way too top heavy.
I
think Bobcat all the way.
We can't specify enough how great of a head is. They spent their entire mascot budget on his head, and it's great. It's just they spent no money on Kyle's body because he is he's just a regular guy underneath there, and a regular guy's got no chance against a Bobcat.
Nope.
Maybe if he had pepper spray on his hike, perhaps.
Maybe.
But he
That's why. Yeah, he has a what would that be, like a fanny pack that he wears?
Yeah. He definitely has a fanny pack. You know the Willie head is mad about him having a fanny pack, but there turns out there's nothing he can do about it because he's just a head, and that's why Montana State is moving on.
Okay.
Our next matchup, just to start this off, we are unbiased. We are unbiased judges of mascot fighting, and so the reason I'm saying this is because our next matchup happens to be the world's most famous, the greatest, the toughest, like pretty much the best mascot in the world, unbiasedly stating that. Those are just facts. And it's number 7, Michigan State with Sparty against number 10, USC, the Traveler.
I have to say, though, like, it's insane that both of these are from the same time period, and they're, like, you know, along the same vibes of, you know.
And, like, you're telling me, like, the NCAA doesn't purposely set up, the committee doesn't set up these, like, matchups. Like, they knew these mascots were going to go against each other, and, like, it's insulting that they didn't, you know, Jay Bills didn't ask about this. This is obviously some sort of ploy by them. You can tell.
Oh, for sure. They love the drama of it all, and this is just an extra piece. Yeah. So, I mean, Sparty's way tougher. No offense to the Traveler. Sparty has full closed-toed shoes on. The Traveler is going to get stepped on one toe, and he's going to be done.
Yeah.
Who wears sandals to a fight?
Stubbing a toe, like that takes you down for the rest of the thing. And like these are definitely like they were friends, right? They probably grew up together. They grew up in this age of warriors. But Sparty is like he embodies what what is your profession? Like all he does is warrior. This guy, the USC guy, he's way too Hollywood now. It's just they started together and they took very different paths. And Sparty's the more successful one. What are you gonna do?
Definitely.
Can't wait for the Traveler to be in the Big Ten and have to come into East Lansing and get a taste of what a real warrior with a real
Spartans are going to eat him alive.
Oh, he will. All right then, moving on unbiasedly is number 7 Michigan State and Sparty. And our final matchup here of the East region is number 2 Marquette, the Golden Eagle, versus number 15, Vermont in the Rally Cat.
So, again, not really sure what a Rally Cat is. This guy at least has a body this time. Strange eyes.
Crazy eyes.
But I don't hate him.
No.
But I do, the Golden Eagle would beat the Rally Cat handedly. Look at those eyebrows. He's, like, tough. He's kind of mean. The beak is hard plastic, so, like, he's going at him.
He looks like he does not want to be at this basketball game. Like, he's like, I could be hunting right now. And, like, the Rally Cat looks like a little varmint, like, that the Golden Eagle would pick up as he's, like, flying over. And
I agree.
The Rally Cat, love him. Like, every friend group needs a Rally Cat. Like, that's what people say. And you look at him and you're like, yeah, like, this, like, get the Rally Cat going. He might start this fight with the Golden Eagle, but there's just, look at him. He's not finishing it. He's got no chance. So that means number 2 Marquette is moving on, and that wraps up our East region. As up next, we're going to move into the Midwest.